By participating in the blind auditions on The Voice, vocalists have the opportunity to put themselves in the spotlight and make their dreams come true. Participants put on a show in front of a panel of coaches who are known all over the world, with the goal of securing a spot on the stage and gaining the coveted opportunity to demonstrate their respective talents. Nevertheless, there are certain performances that go beyond the typical excitement of the competition and become moments that will live on in the annals of The Voice history. The rendition of Bob Seger's legendary anthem, Old Time Rock and Roll, that Jordan Allen gave during the blind auditions portion of season 27 was one of those performances that generated a lot of excitement. Jordan produced a show-stopping rendition of Old Time Rock and Roll that not only demonstrated his incredible talent, but also left a lasting impact on the coaches, thereby garnering him the attention that he so well deserved. His strong voice, infectious stage presence, and irresistible charisma made this performance a showstopper. His performance was flawless in every way, including a commanding vocal delivery, dynamic energy, and an unbreakable connection with the audience that was impossible to ignore. What made Jordan's performance even more impressive was the way in which it encapsulated the heart of the song itself. He was able to capture the spirit of traditional rock songwriting while still adding a contemporary touch to it. The tune is titled Old Time Rock and Roll. The song Old Time Rock and Roll is a timeless rock anthem that has endured the test of time. This song, which was written by Bob Seger and was initially sung by him, is a celebration of the raw energy and freedom that music can bring an individual. It is an iconic rock song that exudes joy and nostalgia because of its lively speed, catchy piano riff, and rebellious lyrics, all of which resonate with listeners of all ages. Jordan Allen, with his powerful voice and compelling stage presence, felt destined to bring this legendary music to life in a way that was distinctly his own. In many respects, it is the perfect option for a performance that is meant to captivate a live audience, and Jordan Allen seemed to be the perfect choice to create this rendition. The performance of this song was more than just an opportunity for Jordan to showcase his vocal abilities. It was also a means for him to pay tribute to the music that had influenced his passion for singing through the years. This song gave him the opportunity to demonstrate his individualism as an artist while also allowing him to tap into the spirit of rock and roll, which he had a strong connection to since he was a child. The address that Jordan gave was brimming with self-assurance, and his capacity to dominate the stage and interact with both the coaches and the audience was nothing short of remarkable. A high-energy showstopper is presented in the performance. Jordan Allen's performance was a flurry of fire and charisma from the very first notes of Old Time Rock and Roll till the very end of the song. Jordan's presence on stage was immediately noticeable as soon as the opening piano riff began to play. He emanated the self-assurance of a seasoned performer and effortlessly dominated every inch of the platform. Not only did he effortlessly ride the peaks and valleys of the song, but he also maintained total control of his voice throughout the entire performance. His vocal delivery was bold and dynamic. As a result of Jordan's forceful and raspy tone, which was ideally suited to the gritty and defiant mood of the song, each and every note felt like a declaration of his artistic identity. It was Jordan's ability to connect with the crowd that stood out as one of the most remarkable features of his performance. It was obvious that he was not merely singing the words when he sang the line, "Just take those old records off the shelf," but rather that he was embodying them as he sang about it. Jordan's stage presence was contagious. He possessed the kind of enthusiasm that made it impossible for everyone in the room to refrain from tapping their feet or nodding along to the beat. It is impossible to deny the inherent charm and excitement that he possessed, which continued to draw the audience into the performance with each passing second. As the song went, Jordan's performance became increasingly intense, and he poured his entire being into each verse of the song. He was able to seamlessly transition from gritty, low notes to soaring high notes without skipping a beat, which was an excellent demonstration of his singing dynamics. The manner in which he negotiated the force and the subtleties of the song was a credit to his vocal skill. It demonstrated just how much control he had over his voice, while yet keeping the moment that Jordan struck the famous chorus of Old Time Rock and Roll was nothing short of thrilling. The coaches and the audience were both caught up in the sheer intensity of the performance, which resulted in the electric atmosphere in the room being palpable. It was the kind of moment that distracted you from the fact that you were watching a competition. Jordan's talent and passion grabbed center stage, and you couldn't help but be caught up in it. Due to the fact that his speech was so fascinating, it was almost as if the entire audience was transported to a live rock concert. A rousing round of applause was directed for the coaches. As the concluding notes of old-time rock and roll reverberated around the recording studio, the room was filled with startled quiet for a brief period before erupting into applause. As soon as it became apparent that Jordan had left an impression, the coaches did not waste any time in expressing their enthusiasm for him immediately. The first person to respond was Michael Bublé, a coach who is well known for his silky crooning and refined musical taste. "Wow," he exclaimed as he stood up and applauded everyone. "That was just amazing. You have a voice that is very remarkable. I am able to sense your vitality. It is clear that you have a commanding presence on stage." That was a performance that had the potential to make any room brighter. The words that Bublé spoke were a demonstration of Jordan's ability to strike a balance between technical vocal proficiency and raw emotion and emotional intensity. Bublé's attention had been drawn to Jordan's performance, and it was easy to see that he was pleased by the young singer's ability to connect with both the song and the audience. Following that, Adam Levine, a coach who is known for his charm and outspokenness, was quick to offer his positive feedback. Adam cried, "That was nothing short of incredible," and his characteristic enthusiasm filled the room. "There is a natural charisma that you possess that is extremely difficult to obtain. You have imbued that song with your own unique style. The stage would be yours to own, in my opinion." That was a performance worthy of a rock star. The words of Adam wonderfully captured the essence of Jordan's performance. He did not merely sing the song, rather he lived it, bringing his own personality and flair to each and every note. A further contribution came from John Legend, who is well known for his deep voice and his expertise in music. One of the things that he mentioned was, "You have such an incredible tone, and your energy is infectious. Because I was able to sense your connection to the music, I believe it is what gives it such a profound impact. You have something that is very remarkable, and I believe that you have the potential to achieve a great deal in this tournament." As a result of John's appreciation, the depth of Jordan's voice and the authenticity he gave to the performance were brought to light. John acknowledged that Jordan's gift encompassed more than just his technical ability. Last but not least, Kelsea Ballerini, a country pop sensation who possesses a profound comprehension of the art of storytelling via music, made her voice heard. As she spoke, she said, "You have a real star quality about you." That was the kind of performance that I would witness in a stadium. Not only do you have the ability to connect with your audience, but you also added a lot of excitement to the setting. It is clear that you have a prosperous future ahead of you. Kelsey's comments centered not only on Jordan's vocal ability, but also on his star potential, which is something that is quite valuable in the music industry. Jordan's moment of decision. The decision. Jordan Allen stood on stage, beaming with pride, as the clapping began to fade down during the performance. It had been made abundantly apparent by the coaches that they were all impressed by his performance, and the admiration that could be seen in their eyes was clearly visible. Despite the fact that the decision that was made after that was a significant one, it was evident that Jordan's performance had gained him the respect and attention in Audition for The Voice, but he had also done an excellent job of demonstrating his stage presence and vocal ability. According to him, his rendition of old-time rock and roll had established a new benchmark for what it meant to enthrall an audience and leave an impression that would not be forgotten. Jordan Allen was no longer only a participant on The Voice, rather he had become a formidable adversary on the show due to the fact that he possessed a combination of uninhibited skill, self-assurance, and genuine experience. As we look to the future, we see a rising star. As Jordan completed his journey on The Voice, it became very evident that his fame was rising more and more. It was with his legendary rendition of old-time rock and roll that he kicked off what would turn out to be an exhilarating and electrifying journey. Furthermore, it served as a reminder that skill, when combined with the appropriate amount of enthusiasm and heart, may produce moments that will be remembered for a considerable amount of time after the competition has concluded. The moment when Jordan Allen showed up on The Voice was simply the beginning of something far bigger, and the entire world was eager to find out what he would do next.